So going into the past couple of days of NBA playoffs, as we're looking at here, shout out to the Toronto Raptors. Let's start on Sunday. Raptors beating the Cleveland Cavaliers by 4 points in a great fourth quarter win here. But man, Cleveland really shot the ball poorly from this one. 37% from the field, 25% from three. Max Strus had a terrible game off the bench. Evan Mobley had a really bad game offensively. If you're going to take 11 shots, 3 of them cannot be threes. Jarrett Allen, his offensive impact really was not there against the smaller lineup. MVP of this series so far for Toronto has to be Colin Murray-Boyles. He has just been amazing. 9th overall pick for the Toronto Raptors this past NBA draft. He's been by far the difference maker, even with like Jamal Shed struggling from the field, having impact on the court. Jacoby Walter started this game literally 0 points, 0 of 9, 0 of 8. I mean, this is not a game that Toronto should be able to win, but they won the second quarter and they kept up in the third and fourth and really just pulled this game out in the end. James Harden, though, man, we got to get past these playoff bad games. I mean, this is pathetic now that we're getting into, you're age 36. You go to Cleveland to be the difference maker. You have a great 2 first games at home, shooting well, assisting well, not having crazy turnover numbers, and then boom, 8 turnovers on Thursday's game, 7 turnovers on Sunday's game. I mean, 15 turnovers combined in the past 2 games, and shooting under 35% from 3 is not going to cut it, James Harden. You have to play better because this is one of your last chances at playoffs to change the narrative around you, and now you're tied 2-2 with Toronto heading into tomorrow night's game, where we'll see at 7:30 tomorrow if either one of these 2 teams can take a 3-2 series lead. The Spurs, even without Victor Wembanyama, were down by 13 points heading into the second half of this game just to dominate the third and fourth quarter. Shout out to Stephon Castle, man. 16 points. De'Aaron Fox, 28 points. Sorry, I guess we're looking at, that's game 4. I guess we should go back all the way to Sunday to look at game 3. Oh, wow, sorry, game 3 was all the way on Friday. Dylan Harper off the bench. Stephon Castle, yeah, there we go, 33 points. The 2 of them combined for 60 in the 12-point win. This was a huge game in game 3. And then in game 4, with Wemby back, they're losing heading into the second half. Denny's having a good game. Drew Holiday's having a good offensive game. But San Antonio dominates the second half between Wemby's 27, Fox's 28, Castle 16. Good bench production. And the Spurs run away in that third quarter with great defensive impact and beating the Blazers to put them up 3-1. Spurs are going to win this series in 5, in my opinion. I don't really see it going any other way. Continuing on Sunday, the Celtics absolutely killed Joel Embiid's return, won by 32 points. Joel Embiid had 26 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. I thought he had a good game, but Tyrese Maxey only had 2 shots really in the first half. VJ Edgecombe wasn't hitting his threes. Paul George had a mediocre game at best. Their bench unit between Dominic Barlow, Justin Edwards really played bad. Celtics got off to a blazing hot start in this one. Peyton Pritchard, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum having all 20-plus points. And the Celtics ran away with this one. We kind of knew the Sixers were not going to match up well with the Celtics. Celtics are looking to close this series off in 5. Shout out Tatum, though, for an amazing first round. Coming back from his injury was huge. Ray, playoffs all are about defense, hence why the Spurs came back and won that game in the second half. And yeah, look at the Magic. I'm going to get into that in just a minute here. Rockets beating the Lakers in game 4. This was a winner-go-home game for the Rockets. They needed to win this one. LeBron really struggled in this one, though. 10 points on 9 shots, 9 assists, 8 turnovers. Rockets finally looked like they were playing to win. Sengun, 19. Amen, 23. Reed Shepard, 17. Tari Eason, 20 points. Shout out Tari Eason, who's been training with Lethal Shooter to get his jump shot back. And Jabari Smith, 16 points on terrible efficiency. Josh Okogie, finally, I thought that was the biggest impact, was having their bench players come in and give them good minutes. Josh Okogie giving them very, very good minutes off the bench was huge for the Houston Rockets in this Game 4 win. But seems like Luka's going to be back kind of soon, and I do expect the Lakers to put this series away in most 6 games, in my opinion. Heading into yesterday's games, talking about it right now with Ray, Magic, Pistons. Magic take down a 6-point win. Only 40 points scored in the second half for Orlando, but under 36 points for the Pistons scored in the second half. We got some discourse, man, about Jalen Duren, who's having by far the worst series he could possibly have to start these playoffs. I mean, Jalen Duren's game log against his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend in Wendell Carter Jr., and it's been bad. 12 points on 8 shots, 8 points on 10 shots, 11 points on 10 shots, 8 points on 4 shots for Jalen Duren. After having an all NBA caliber season, 20 points, 11 rebounds, Jalen Duren has not showed up at all in this series. Orlando has taken advantage of the lackluster interior presence there. And also, we got to have a little bit of discourse. Cade Cunningham has some of the most turnovers we've seen out of a first-year playoff guy. I mean, 8 turnovers in Game 4, 9 in Game 3, 7 in Game 2. Not good turnovers, specifically some really bad late-game turnovers. In yesterday's game, he had a couple of really bonehead plays that I was really, really disappointed in Cade Cunningham for. Shoot the ball a little bit more. Shoot it with confidence. Get to your mid-range. Get to the free throw line late in that game. Stop trying to pass it. Stop trying to force the ball to your players. We got to be better. Just got to be better if you're Detroit. All the issues we had with Detroit in the regular season. We knew they were a good team. We knew they were the best team in the Eastern Conference. But we did say, is there lackluster, forward play, specifically offensively, with Duncan Robinson being very one-minded in his three-point shooting? Asar Thompson not really being a three-point shooter at all. He's more of a gadget guy. Tobias Harris as your second-best offensive threat. Is that going to be enough come playoff time? We're seeing the answer is very much no, because when the Magic have good all-around games, Paolo didn't even shoot well. 4 of 18 from the field, but he got to the free throw line. 34 free throw attempts for the Orlando Magic. They shot 26% from 3, 33% from the field, and still pulled out a win just because of how bad the offense for Detroit was late in this one. And also, got to give credit to the perimeter defense of Orlando. I think whether it's Jalen Suggs, Anthony Black, or Desmond Bane, or even Franz Wagner guarding Cade Cunningham, Cade was really struggling in this one to get into a rhythm. And Franz Wagner did go down with an injury in this game after 24 minutes. He was having a good game. Shout out to the MVP low-key, Jamal Cain. Did not see this one coming, but Jamal Cain came off the bench. Poster Jalen Duren, so good. 8 points, 9 rebounds. I was very impressed with his minutes, but really the starters for Orlando dominated this one in the 6-point win over Detroit. Gives them a 3-1 series lead heading back to Detroit. Possible 8-1 upset in the first round. The Thunder are moving on. We said it no matter who the Thunder saw with that 1-8 matchup. We knew the Thunder were going to have an easy matchup. Thunder sweep the Phoenix Suns 131-122 win in Game 4. Shout out to my MVP of this one, though, A.J. Mitchell. If you guys know, I've been a big A.J. Mitchell fan. I've been saying he's the next Jalen Brunson, James Harden. Get his own team. He's going to break out. 22.6 assists, 4 rebounds. I thought he had a huge impact in this game. I love the quote that Shea had that said, "I've got all the answers to the test, but I just haven't seen the questions yet." That is really what happened with the Thunder. I mean, no matter what Phoenix threw their way, the Thunder were able to dominate it. Whether it was Chet and Ihart having a great interior two-man game, or Shea getting to the free throw line, or A.J. Mitchell's shot creation, Cason Wallace and his defense off the bench, Aaron Wiggins. I mean, they're just dominating team. Even with no J-Dub, the Thunder sweep the Phoenix Suns to move on to round 2, where they're going to be playing the winner of Lakers-Rockets. And lastly, Nuggets could have lost this one and gone home, but they won 125-113, making it a 3-2 series. Now, mind you, no Dante DiVincenzo. He unfortunately did tear his Achilles, which is one of the worst injuries we've seen to start this postseason, so prayers up to Dante DiVincenzo. And also Anthony Edwards is dealing with a bone bruise in his leg. He might be out for multiple weeks. But Minnesota took both games at home and then lost on the road in Game 5 to Denver. Denver is going to need to win Game 6 if they're going to have a chance at that Game 7. But I wanted to give credit to a couple good games for Minnesota Timberwolves players that probably weren't expecting to have as big of a role in this game because they expected Anthony Edwards to play. Terrence Shannon Jr., Bones Highland, and Ayo Dosunmu, I thought had really good games in this one. Julius Randle being a number 1 option, though, offensively, really just isn't going to cut it. They didn't have the playmaking that they've had with Anthony Edwards and DiVincenzo on the floor. And then Jokic finally had his best game of the series, 27, 12, and 16 with 2 blocks. Spencer Jones starting MVP. Spencer Jones, 20 points, 7 of 9 shooting. Cam Johnson had a good shooting night. We've been waiting for that. Jamal Murray, 24 points. Christian Braun got ejected, I believe, from this game. But if the Nuggets can do this right and play around Jokic with no Anthony Edwards, I really do think the Nuggets can come back down 3-1. It's all going to be dependent on this Game 6 game in Minnesota. But that's going to kind of do it for my recap of all the NBA games. Tonight we have Game 5, Boston looking to put away the Philadelphia 76ers. The biggest game of the night, though, is Hawks-Knicks. Winner takes a 3-2 series lead right here in Madison Square Garden. Good luck to the Knicks. Honestly, could see it going either way depending on who gets hot. And then Spurs, Trailblazers. Spurs trying to put the Blazers away at home. They are favored by 12 and likely going to do so with Wemby healthy from concussion protocol.